Can I provide attendance for only 16 members or any other class are happening here? Are you attending any other class? Remaining people, do you have any idea? J3, J4, J5? Okay, in the today's session, we'll see the control statements. Okay, this is the revision class. So I'm going to explain what are the important things available in the Java, and the next class we will see some important interview questions. Then you will have the assignments for each unit. Okay, based on that we are going to give alternate assessment marks to you. All right. See here, control statements contains conditional statements, looping statements, jump statements, right? Coming to conditional statements, or we can also call as selection statements. So those are if condition, if else condition, if else if condition, and nested if conditions. Okay, so the Java if statement is used to test the condition. It checks Boolean condition whether the value is true or false. There are various types of selection statements in Java. Those are if statement. If statement is one-way selection. Okay, the syntax like this: if the condition true means what are the statements we have written inside of the if condition, those are going to be executed. So otherwise there is no else condition, just it checks only the condition is true or false. That's it. That's about if statement. Next, if else statement. It is selection. Okay, if it is true, then execute these statements. If it is else, execute the statements. It is two-way selection. In that way we have two-way selection. This one, if else. If else is two-way selection. If condition, if the if condition is true, execute the statements in the if condition. If it is false, if condition is false, then it is going to execute else box contains a number of statements, right? Those will be executed. Next statement is nested if statement. Nested if statement. So nested if means what? If inside another if, then if condition having another if condition inside of if. Okay, so if condition having another if condition, if inside another if, that is called nested if. So if condition is true, then it is going to execute here. Then nested block is going to be executed. Okay, when the if condition is true, then it is coming to another if condition. That is also true means the instructions which are available in the nested if, those instructions will be executed. This is the outside of the if condition. Right, so outside of this nested if condition, so those all will be executed if first if condition is true. Next, these are all our syntax, not programs. Okay, if else if ladder, if else if, because if else if ladder, so that we can say multi-way selection. Multi-way selection. Here we can do some multiple conditions. Okay, we are checking multiple conditions. If condition is true, then it is going to execute this statement, or it will check for else if condition true, or if else if, like these statements we can write many statements here. So if statement is true, that statement is going to be executed. So all our statements are false. Returning false means then the false else block going to be executed. That is called else if else if ladder. Okay, that is multi-way selection. Okay, don't get any confusion, multi-level, single level and second level. So if that means you should write this type of ifs. Okay, next. So those are the syntaxes for conditional statements. Coming to looping statements. What type of loops we have? Looping means traversing the elements, right? You can traverse multiple. See, we have loop or repetitive or iterative statements in Java. Java loop or iterative statements, Java while loop. Here, Java while loop is used to iterate a part of program several times. The while loop is used for what? To iterate a part of the program several times. To iterate the part of the program several times. If the number of iterations is not fixed, when I can go for while loop, we have already for loop and all, right. So what is the difference here? If the number of iteration is fixed, so the number of iteration is fixed, not fixed, number of iteration is not fixed, then it is recommended to use while loop. When I can use while loop, it may in the interview also, if they ask what is the difference between for loop and while loop and while loop. So if the when I can go for while loop, this means mainly one thing you need to say here, all are used for iterate the part of the program several times only. Every loop is doing same thing, but main difference is what? So coming to if condition, when coming to while loop, when I can choose while loop, if the number of iterations is not fixed, the number of iterations are not fixed, so it is recommended to use while loop. Okay, it is an event based loop and entry control loop. We can also say as it is event based loop or entry control loop. Entry control loop. So this is the syntax we have here for while loop and condition. If condition is true, then the instructions which are available in the while loop, those will be executed. Those will be executed. Okay, every time. I will give increment operator. See here we have syntax and example, then you can understand while loop also. So number of iterations are not fixed, then I can go for while loop. So Java infinite while loop. So I want to there is no end for the loop means. So that type of loop I want to write. That means, so within the while loop, if I give true condition, okay, directly if I give true, the infinite while loop. That means there is no end for this loop. If you pass true in the while loop, it will be infinite while loop. Okay. So if you write this program, there is no end. It's going to print never ends, never ends, never ends, never ends. Okay. Next, coming for a Java do while loop. Okay. Java do while loop is used to iterate a part of the program several times. Whatever the loop is used to iterate the part of the program in several times. So if the number of iterations is not fixed, see here difference between while loop and do while loop. If the number of iterations are not fixed, say while loop also number of iterations are not fixed, and you must have to execute the loop at least once. So it is recommended to use do while loop. So before, if you want to execute one statement before the loop, then I can go for do while loop. So if the number of iterations are not fixed and you want to must have to execute the loop at least once, so at least once you must have to execute the loop, then I can go for do while loop. Okay. So what is the difference between while loop and do while loop? The number of iterations are not fixed and you must have to execute the loop at least once. Okay, then I can go for do while loop. The Java do while loop is executed at least once because condition is checked after loop body. For example, here we have syntax. So it is an event based loop, exit control loop. We can also say as event based loop and exit control loop. See, we have syntax here. Do condition, see do that contains the number of statements. So whatever the statements available in the do, so while you are executing, before executing the while loop, these instructions going to be executed. So in which situation you can go for do while loop means, so if I want to execute some statement before the while loop, okay, then I can go for do while loop. So do first this thing, then check the condition, then we can repeat the values here. So repeatedly we can execute here. So first to do execute the statements, then check the condition. Okay, while loop means first checking the condition, then it is going to be iterate the values, right? So that is the main difference between while loop and do while loop. Do while means you must have to execute the loop, at least once. Okay, all right. Here we have an example. See, do syntax, do some statements, execute a statement, then while condition, if condition true, then it is going to repeat. So if you pass true in the do while loop, it will be infinite do while loop. So this is do statement. Never ends. We have written inside the do, then while condition, while loop, in that we have given condition as true, boolean value true, then it is going to be infinite do while loop. Okay, that's about do while condition. Next, for loop. For here also you can observe the differences. Okay, for loop, the Java for loop is used to iterate the part of the program several times if the number of iterations are fixed. When I can go for while loop, if number of iterations are not fixed. Here number of iterations are fixed means I can go for loop. The number of iteration is fixed, it is recommended to use for loop. It is a counter control loop or entry control loop. You can say it is a counter control loop or entry control loop. There are three types of for loops in Java, which are simple for loop, for each loop, or enhanced for loop. Next, see here the Java simple for loop and syntax. The simple for loop is same as C and C++. C and C++. Increment or decrement operator. This is the syntax. See here syntax for loop. So initialization, initializing the variables, check the condition, and okay. So this value, if the condition is true, then what are the statements which are available in the for loop? Those are going to be executed till the condition true. Okay. Next, see here we have the example for int I equal to 1, I value start from 1, and then I less than equal to 10, I plus plus. Now tell me the output. I start from 1 value and I less than or equal to 10 values 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So if number of iterations are fixed means then I can go for loop. Number of iterations are not fixed, then I can go for iteration. I want to execute the statement before while condition. Okay, so then I go for do while. Right, here we have one array. Here list, array name is list. So here we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 values. Right, if This is the example for each loop. Int x means we are storing this list into x, int x. So what are the variables? What are the values available? Those are storing in x one by one. This one. Then I have to print it. Then the values of x, values of here thing. Then sum equal to, first initially sum is 0. Then sum equal to sum plus x, 0 value position plus 11. The sum is 7. Next 11. 11 plus this value. So it is going to iterate in this way. Okay, sir. Now if I want to print infinite for loop, infinite for loop means, so we are not giving any condition here. We are not here. So if you do 2 semicolons here for loop, so that is empty right now. So it is infinite for loop. So it is going to print never ends in multiple times. So that's about looping statements. Next, jump statements. Do you know jump statements? These are the jump statements which are Java break statement. Okay, so here continuous statement. Java break statement. Okay, the Java break is used to break loop or switch statements. Where we are using this break statement? Use it to break the loop or switch statement. Okay, so if breaks the current flow of the program at a specific condition, specified condition, if you use break statement, that is going to break that statement, means current flow is going to break. So when break statement is encountered inside a loop, then the loop is terminated and program control resumes at the next statement following the loop. So in case of inner loop, it breaks only inner loop only. Okay, that's about the break statement. We have one example here. For int I equal to 1, I less than 10, I plus plus, pi equal to 1, then break the statement. That means the loop means is going to iterate 1, 2, 3, till 10, right? So when it is going to break, then we can stop it. When I equal to 5, then break it. I have written the condition inside the for loop. It means, so it is going to print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 only. Okay, right. So that's about the break statement. Do you remember the rules? The break is used to break the loop or switch statement. It breaks the current flow of the program at a specific condition. When the break statement is encoded inside the loop is terminated and the program controls resumes at the next statement following the loop. In case of inner loop, it breaks only inner loop. Right? Java continuous statement. Till now we have seen the break statement, right? Now we are you can see continuous statement. This is also one jump statement, right? The Java continuous statement is used to continue the loop. It is used to continue the loop. Okay. We might want to continue running the loop but stop processing the remainder of the code in its body for this particular iteration. Then we can go for continuous statement. The continuous statement is used to continue the loop. That means we might want to continue running the loop but stop processing the remainder of the code in its body for this particular iteration. It continues the current flow of the program and skips the remaining code at a specified condition. It continues the current flow of the program and skips the specified condition. So in case of inner loop, it continuously it continues only inner loop. Okay, not for above loop. See here we have an example here. For int I equal to 1, I less than 6, I plus plus, if I equal to 3, then continue. Okay, equal to 3 also, then continue. Then system.out.println, it is going to print the values. So that is the continuous statement and break statement. So if you use break statement, so I equal to 1, 2, 3. If you are using continue means it is going to continue. That means all the values going to print. That's about continue and break. All right. Switch statement. See the syntax for switch statement. Switch condition. The Java switch statement executes one statement from multiple conditions. Already you have seen, right? If else if condition. So ladder condition, ladder statement. If else if ladder statement. So that is, and the switch statement is same. Okay. If the Java switch statement executes one statement from multiple conditions. If you have multiple conditions, want to select one condition based on value I const based on the true condition. So there I can use a switch condition or if else if ladder. Okay. See here we have the syntax for the switch condition. Switch, then expression. Okay. Based on that expression, it is going to select case value. Means what are the statements available in the case value? Those going to be executed here. The expression is case value 2. If it is matches case value 2, then it is going to be executed the statements which are available in value to case value 2. Okay, here break means optional. We can use continue also. Break means it is going to break. That means we are unable to execute next statement of break. If you use break statement, it is going to break. All right, next statements we can't execute. So if the statement is executed in the case value, then it is going to break. It is not going to execute value to case value 2. If you use continue instead of break, then value 2 values also inside the statements also will be executed. Right. See here, if the switch expression is not matched, for all case values, then the default value within the default, what are the statements available in the default? Those statements going to be executed. Okay, the code to be executed if all cases are not matched. If all cases are not matched, then the default block will be executed. Here case values can be integers. Here case values can be case values. Case 1, case 2, I can use integer values or character values. Character means C, case A, case B, case D. I can use character constants. All I can use string values, string constants also. String, string 1, string 2, string 3, or string name, some word you can use here in the case. So in these 3 ways, the case value we can write. either integer, character, or string values. Next, we can see some syntax. See, we have example for switch statement. We are performing arithmetic operation. See here, this is an example for arithmetic exceptions by using switch case value string type. See, we have values a equal to 1750, and the string value, string choice we are giving here, but that is multiplication. See, this multiplication in the switch condition, if the choice is MUL, so the switch condition will check for all the cases: add, not matched; sub, not matched; mul, it is matched. Then it is going to execute the statement. All right? Are you getting? Okay. Next, so it is going to print this value. The result of C is A into B. A into B means A value 17, B value 50. Then how much? 50 plus 10 paisa, 50, 7 paisa, 35, 50, 35, 85. So C value is 85. Right? So in this way, switch case will be executed. So here we can use the integer values also instead of the string values. Okay, or instead of string values also we can use character values, means character constants. If in this switch statement, if we it is not matched with any switch case value, then it is going to be execute the statement system.out invalid operation. Okay, so that is the way executing this. In this case, we can use switch statement. Is like if else if ladder, right? Arithmetic, conditional, and jump statement, then looping statement, then switch syntax. Here see return type, return statement. Java return statement. Okay, while you are writing some method, it is going to return some value. If it is int data, if method is int type, it will return int type of values. If it is float type, it returns the float type value. It is string type, it is going to return string type of values, right? So that return type return statement we are discussing here. The return statement is used to explicitly return from the method. It is going to be used to explicitly return from the method. That is, it causes program control to transfer back to the caller of the method. At any time in the method, the return statement can be used to cause execution to branch back to the caller of the method. If you are trying to call this method, then this value is going to be passed here and returning the value. Okay. Thus, the return statement immediately terminates the method in which it is executed. The completed, that means return statement immediately terminates the method and it is immediately executed. See here, we have an example. We have one example here. I declared one variable into response into res. Then we are storing one value. So I call add method here. I'm passing values for add method. 20 and 30. Okay, so programs control comes from main method, main, then start it is going to allocate memory for int data type. So now we are calling the add method and we are passing the values here. Okay, uh, so that means what it is going to call this add method. Okay, it is returning int type of values. We are using static method, that's why we did not add any object here, we did not create any object here, and we are passing int type of values. Okay, so 20 and 30, that means we are returning that value a plus b. A plus b value is what? 20 plus 30, 50. Now this add method returning a plus b value to the caller. Okay, to the caller. So now it is going to return the 50 value here. Now what is the output for, what is the value for rest variable? So it is 50. Now in this way the caller, your values passing through the method, so those values will be logically return the code here. That means we are adding the two values in the add method and we are returning that a plus b value 50 to this method. So now this the value of this method is storing in one variable. So int data type we are storing in int, the value is 50. That is the return statement. Okay, wherever you can pass the values, that result we can store in one variable, right? That is returning. It is not using here, but this result we are using here. So that means that is the return statement. Return statement usage. Okay. Oh, okay, right. The next example. See here, switch another example. The switch statement executes this. The switch statement executes one statement for multiple condition. We know already. We discussed already. See another example. We have switch number type. Here number is 20. The switch expression is number 20. So it is checking for cases, case values. Here case 10, it is not matched. Here case 20. So now it is matched. That means it is going to print triple E value here. All right. This is for number. On the example 2 we have. This is also a number. See here I did not use any break statement. This is another example. If Java switch statement is fall through, it means it executes all the statements of the first match. If break statement is not used with the switch cases, it is going to print all values. See, if you give choice also, it is not going to print not only this. After the choices also, after choice value 20, it is going to print 30 also. See here, 30 and this value also. All statements, because there is no break statement, that's why it is printing all statement. So from starting from choice, which are we have assigned right here 20. See here output 20, 30 and this default value, because there is no break statement. There is no break statement here. Here also we don't have any break statement, so that we can print all the cases. So that is another example for okay. If else if ladder. So like switch condition. See if you want to find the grade of the student in 3 subjects, so you can use this. See M1, M2, M3, 3 subjects having these values, these marks. Then we are finding the average. Based on the average, we are going to say which grade they are getting, distinction or first class or second class or third class. See here, we are using if else if ladder. If average greater than or equal to 70 means equal to 70 or above 70, then going to print, that is distinction. Else if next, it is also going to be checked. So average is greater than or equal 60 and condition, and both must be average is less than 70, then I'm going to print the first class. The average is greater than or equal to 50 and the average is less than 60, then it is going to print the second class. If the average is greater than or equal to 40 and the average is less than 50, then it is in third class. So else, if all the statements are false, then it is going to go for else condition fail. Okay, if all these conditions false, then it is going to print the values instead of else. Okay, so if any condition is true, it is going to print. If it is 70, distinction below greater than or equal to 60 or less than 70, so it is going to print one value going to print. Okay, like a switch condition. So this is the example for if else if ladder. Else if. First we will write if, then else if, then else if, then else if, then finally else. This is called if else if ladder. Okay. See here, already time outside. Okay. These are the examples and today. Remaining we will see in the next class. Download attendance. Okay, thank you for listening the session. You can leave the session now.